I'm Sam Clark with Crimson Education, and we're here at NYU in New York City to ask some big questions. Let's do it. We're actually just sort of on the street because they don't really have a campus here. It's just sort of, we're just in New York. We're going to try to find some students. All right, what is the best thing about NYU?
I think like the campus and just like the fact that it's like in Manhattan. It's like the really cool area in Manhattan. Downtown's awesome. Washington Square Park is super nice. So it's like super cool, like walk to class every day.
The diversity.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing, diversity.
Professors, the dynamic is very interesting. The campus is cool. There's a lot going on, so you're kind of like get involved in all different type of organizations and things.
I think definitely being in the city and not having to be confined by a campus is really awesome, and the fact that we are just able to go to so many different places and just kind of get into the real life like as adults, like already in college, I think is a great opportunity that makes us a lot more mature.
Not having a campus can be also a strong advantage because there's so many buildings that you can just go to, and then it's like life is really different from the college campus, and I'll say that's a pretty unique experience you can have.
Being in the city, everything's very accessible. You got the subway and a lot of walking, so you get your exercise as well. A lot of different things to do.
It's important. So you don't even need to go to the gym?
No, you got to go to the gym.
Still got to go to the gym. Public service announcement.
Best thing and kind of worst thing is that there's always something to do, which means that there's a lot of fun to have in the city. But it also means that when I want to do homework, I usually end up doing something else.
In contrast, what's the worst thing about NYU?
I'd say probably I get concerned about safety here frequently, especially I know last week there was a situation with a mugging that happened like on this street, so that would be something that's pretty bad.
I guess like limited perspective sometimes.
I think it's a pretty tough school. I don't know if that's like a bad thing, but it's kind of, you have to study a lot, and sometimes you don't get to like explore the city and do things you want to do,
It's expensive, man. And everything's expensive in the city, but I mean, you can't beat the views and all this, it's worth it.
I would say the school's like economically draining. Like when you compare when you add up the tuition plus the rent plus food, it just gets pretty costly, so it can impact your life forever. Yeah.
I'll say things are really expensive here around New York generally, especially in K-Town. They're really expensive. The price jumps. Yeah.
Like it's really creepy around like in the night because it's like open, so it's not like a closed campus. So yeah, it can get really creepy.
And what would you say is the biggest misconception about NYU?
That you're never gonna see anybody you know here. You're just gonna be like alone all the time, which isn't true. I see people like that I met randomly at the coffee shop, just walking on the street.
It's a small world, sort of.
Small world, yeah.
So something people think about is that it's difficult to get connected on campus, given that we don't have a traditional like borders campus. But if you make the effort to, go to the club fair and stuff like that and reach out to other people, you can easily make friends and still have a good time.
Amazing.
I would say that so many people told me that NYU doesn't have a campus and it doesn't have a community. And one thing that I experienced was that there's such an accepting community that has always there for you. I've never felt alone at NYU, and a lot of my friends and a lot of my professors were NYU, you gotta get out there. So I found the campus very accepting.
They say New York can be very lonely, and especially because I'm living in a studio apartment, I don't have a roommate or anything. But I have found that it has been extremely easy making friends through my classes because everyone is so talkative and nice and ready to have a conversation with you. Literally you could go up to someone on the street who goes to NYU and be like, hey, what's your name? And they'll be like, hey, I'm so-and-so. Then you're like, okay, let's be friends. And then it's cool, all right. And it's so easy to make friends here. It's I didn't think it would be like that, but it is.
And what do you tend to do on weekends here?
So I work on the weekends, so I don't get to, there's not much fun or excitement going on for me, yeah.
Any new movies in the theater, we go watch them. We walk around, eat good food, yeah.
Go to bars, go out with some friends, hang out, explore the city. There's so much to do here, so there's always like new events, always concerts, art exhibitions. There's a lot of things to do.
Food. So like, yeah, food. Explore the city. There are like tons of good restaurants around here. So yeah, that's pretty much.
It's not even that there's not party stuff available here, but it's more just that there's so much to do that it doesn't have to be the only weekend thing to do, or it doesn't have to be the focus. There's so much that if you don't want to like go to a party or something, there's plenty of other options. There's plenty of people who don't associate with that at all, and there's lots of choices.
It's not that there's only parties.
Right. There's plenty of choices as far as like what you want to do.
All right, and last question. If you remember, what did you write your application essays about?
I wrote it about like how I like to cook, like food. Mm-hmm.
Do you still cook a lot here?
I do, yeah. Uh-huh.
What's your favorite dish?
My favorite dish, I like to make like a good like spaghetti bolognese. Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Some like carrot, onion, some good meat in there.
I wrote about how I'm actually born and raised in Mexico, and kind of living to an area where there's not a lot of other diversity. I was like the only Mexican kid at my school, and kind of having to deal with like racism, and kind of having to like teach people about like my country and like I think misconceptions about Mexico a lot of people have here.
I wrote about the first time I saw Singing in the Rain, and I wrote about the Make Him Laugh number, and my mom's struggle with cancer.
I used to row, just like rowing. I remember I wrote about that for one of my pieces. I wrote about how like my uncle, who was like, I don't know, pretty depressed and like on the verge of alcoholism, he got like a little dog, and that just turned his life around. It was like really nice. I honestly can't remember what the last one was, but like I just wrote about these kind of just small things that can really, just like individual experiences, which can, I find, do a lot more than like, just sort of the grand stories of the masses that you hear about in like the news and stuff.
Yeah, I think I wrote about my life like as a Korean, and also like my interest for like film, and like how that like influenced my life a lot. Yeah.
Anything to add? Final thoughts? Takeaways? Go NYU.
Come to NYU.
Yeah, come to NYU.
Go NYU, yeah.
Yeah. If you like this video and want to learn more about top colleges, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also click the button down below to get in contact with one of our academic experts to set up a free academic consultation to go to the college of your dreams.